Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the previous session, we have discussed about Nernst equation. That is, it is an expression. It gives the relation between electrode potential of an electrode, concentration of the electrolytic solution, and the temperature. Okay. In the last class, we studied about Nernst equation, the terms involved in it, and even we consider Nernst equation for metals, Nernst equation for non-metals, and even we considered the general expression and terms. Thereafter, we studied about some examples regarding writing a Nernst equation by using a balanced chemical equation and by knowing the number of electrons. Yes, one can write the Nernst equation for given reactions. Well, now there we came across the relation between electrode potential of an electrode, concentration of the solution, and temperature. So we studied in the form of a Nernst equation. Well, here, whenever a reaction proceeds, so there is a chance of attaining equilibrium. There is a chance of attaining equilibrium. Since in the Nernst equation, we have considered a reaction quotient, that is QC, log of whatever the log form we get, log of concentration of product to the concentration of reactants, and all concentration terms being raised to their respective stoichiometric coefficients. It means that whenever a reaction proceeds, if it is a reversible reaction, what is the chance that reaction may attain equilibrium? So in such case, we are going to end up with the equilibrium constant. Means whatever that reaction quotient becomes equal to equilibrium constant K. Therefore, we can say there will be a relation between cell potential of an electrode with the equilibrium constant. Well, in this session, we deal with the relation between electrode potential of an electrode with the equilibrium constant. Well, here, so what is that relation between equilibrium constant Kc and EMF of a cell, that is electromotive force, or I simply can say cell potential of an electrode. Since for a general reaction, if I consider a general reaction of the type A of A plus B of B gives rise to C of C plus D of D. So consider is a general reaction. Here A and B are the reactants, small a and small b are number of moles of these reactants respectively. Similarly, these C and D, capital C and capital D are the product with their respective number of moles. Say it is a balanced equation. So for the given equation, how we can write Nernst equation? So for a given chemical reaction, general chemical equation. So I can write a Nernst equation as E cell is equal to E naught cell minus RT by NF ln of concentration of product C and D. So concentration of C raised to C and concentration of D raised to D divided by concentration of reactants. So concentration of A raised to A into concentration of B raised to B. So for any general equation, first what we are writing? We are writing a general, that is Nernst equation. Further, instead of ln, what I can write? 2.303 log. So that other form of a Nernst equation will be E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 2.303 RT by NF log of concentration of product to the concentration of reactants. Now, what is the condition we are specifying? If reaction attains equilibrium. Okay. So, when reaction attains equilibrium, we already know that when reaction attains equilibrium, what about the cell potential? There is no flow of electrons, therefore, there is no current. So we say there is no potential. Means when reaction attains equilibrium, so we say at equilibrium cell potential will be zero. That is EMF produced will be zero. E cell is equal to zero. And what I said, this reaction quotient QC becomes equal to Kc. That reaction quotient itself becomes equal to equilibrium constant. So therefore the two quantities which changes, what are those? E cell. So at equilibrium, E cell becomes equal to 0, and the ratio of concentration of product to the concentration of reactants and all concentration terms rise to their stoichiometric coefficients becomes equal to equilibrium constant. Therefore, this equation can be rewritten as, so at the place of E cell, what it is? 0. So 0 is equal to E naught cell minus 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. So instead of writing this quantity, what we are writing? Kc. Or else, if you rearrange it, what we get? E naught cell is equal to, so now we are getting standard electrode potential. So E naught cell is equal to plus 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. So this equation to be remembered here. So E naught cell standard electrode potential, R gas constant, that is 8.314 joules per Kelvin mole, T is the temperature, and N number of moles of electrons, F is a Faraday, and what is Kc here? Equilibrium constant. Okay, so this expression gives the relation between equilibrium constant and EMF of a cell, that is standard EMF of a cell. That is, what is the equation to be remembered here? E naught cell is equal to 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. Okay, so by specifying cell potential and number of electrons involved, they used to ask to calculate Kc, that is equilibrium constant of a reaction. Well, I hope you understood this. Then coming to the next concept, say for example, if I want to write relation between cell potential and equilibrium constant for a reactions involved in a Daniell cell. Okay, what is our task? I wish to write relation between cell potential of a electrode and equilibrium constant for Daniell cell. Well, we already know that at Daniell cell, what is the reaction involved? Zn plus Cu2 plus gives rise to Zn2 plus Cu. So is the net reaction involved or takes place at a Daniell cell. So for any given cell, if we wish to write the relation between cell potential and its equilibrium constant, again, what is the necessary thing? We need a balanced chemical equation. Well, here for Daniell cell, we know the reaction. Then first we have to write Nernst equation. So E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 2.303 RT by NF log of concentration of Zn2 plus divided by concentration of Cu2 plus. Here both the concentration terms rise to their stoichiometric coefficient. Since 1 is the stoichiometric coefficient, so Zn2 plus by concentration of Cu2 plus. So is the Nernst equation for Daniell cell. Further, what is our task? Relation between cell potential and equilibrium constant. Therefore, we have to consider at equilibrium. So at equilibrium, what happens? Cell potential will be 0. So we say E cell becomes equal to 0, and that ratio, whatever the reaction quotient I mentioned, now in this case, concentration of Zn2 plus divided by concentration of Cu2 plus will be equal to Kc. So for Daniell cell, what I can say, E naught cell is equal to 2.303 RT by, here N, what is N? Here N number of electrons in node is 2. So NF log Kc, general equation. So for Daniell cell, E naught cell is equal to, I am specifying given temperature. So at 298 Kelvin, T will be 298, R 8.314, N 2, and F 96,500. So overall for Daniell cell, what is the expression we get? E naught cell is equal to 0.059 by 2 log Kc. Okay, so is the expression for Daniell cell. Well, it's regarding relation between standard cell potential, or I can say simply electrode potential, or I can say EMF with the equilibrium constant. What is the equation to be remembered here? E naught cell is equal to 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. Well, similarly, during reaction, what happens? There will be change in the entropy, enthalpy, as well as free energy change or free energy changes. It means during a chemical reaction, as there will be change in the energy parameters, enthalpy, entropy, what happens? The free energy associated with the reactant species also changes. So we say we considered spontaneous reactions. Okay, while dealing with the chapter, we said about spontaneous reactions. Spontaneous reactions usually used to have minus delta G. It means their free energy decreases. So now there is a relation between the cell potential of an electrode, or I can say EMF of a cell, with the free energy change. Well, coming to the concept, the relation between standard free energy change, the relation between standard free energy change and EMF of a cell, or standard electrode potential ENOS. Well, what type of reaction we considered here? A spontaneous reaction. Spontaneous meaning, I said, the reactions which takes place by its own without any external add of energy. So here, in a spontaneous process, free energy of the system always decreases. Okay, it means that free energy G factor, or I can say delta G, will be always negative. So free energy of the system goes on decreases. Now here, whatever that free energy decreases, for what purpose it is used? That decrease in energy is used for work done. What type of work done? Electrical work done. It means, as we said, there involves a redox reaction, and there involves a movement of electrons from anode to cathode, or I can say oxidation half cell to reduction half cell. As for the movement of electrons, for the movement of electrons, energy is needed. So simply we say, for the electrical work done, whatever the decrease in free energy is used for useful electrical work done in a cell. Therefore, that decrease in free energy will be equal to the electrical work done in a cell. So we are relating these two. So go through this. So in a spontaneous process, the free energy of the system goes on decreases. The decrease in free energy is equal to maximum useful work done. That a decrease in free energy is equal to maximum useful work done in a spontaneous process. Therefore, what I can say, minus delta G is equal to electrical work done. Minus delta G is equal to work done. So it is the equation 1. Well, in galvanic cell, what happens? That work is done for, what is the work done here? Electrical work done. It means that work is done for transferring n Faraday of charge. N Faraday, that is, if 1 mole of electron goes, 1 Faraday of charge will be transferred. If 3 mole of electrons goes from anode to cathode, it means 3 Faraday of charge is being transferred. So overall, generally what I am saying, that in galvanic cell, work is done for transferring n Faraday of charge across the potential difference of E volts. There must be a potential difference. So n Faraday of charge is transferred across a potential difference of E volts. Therefore, what I can say here, that electrical work done will be equal to product of charge and potential difference. So the product of charge and potential difference gives the electrical work done. Therefore, what I can say here, how many charges are passed? Say n Faraday of charge is passed. And what is the potential difference? E is the potential difference. Therefore, that work done will be equal to NF into E. So it is the second equation. So now by comparing first and second, what I can say, minus delta G is equal to NF into E. So minus delta G means decrease in free energy or free energy change, N number of moles of electrons, F Faraday, E cell potential. So what is the expression we got here? Minus delta G is equal to NFE, or else delta G is equal to minus NFE. So the same equation, if I consider at standard conditions, Means if I specify concentration as 1 molar and temperature as 298 Kelvin, then what that expression becomes? Minus delta G naught. Minus delta G naught is equal to NF into E naught cell. So standard decrease in free energy, standard electrode potential. So minus delta G naught is equal to NF into E naught cell, or else I can say delta G naught is equal to minus NF into E naught cell. Well, we know that minus delta G naught is equal to, means it gives the relation between standard free energy change with the equilibrium constant. So what is that relation? Minus delta G naught is equal to 2.303 RT log Kc. Okay, so here I mentioned K, so it is Kc, equilibrium constant. So what is the relation? Minus delta G naught is equal to 2.303 RT log K. Now, if we compare these two expressions, expression 3 and 4, therefore, what we get? NF E naught cell is equal to 2.303 RT log K, or else log K is equal to NF E naught cell divided by 2.303 RT. So, is the one more important expression. So it's regarding the relation between standard free energy change and the EMF of a cell. Well, coming to the examples, say for example for a Daniell cell, if I want to write the relation between standard free energy change and its EMF, so again equation Zn plus Cu2 plus gives rise to Zn2 plus HBS plus copper solid. And generally we know minus delta G is equal to NF into E cell, or else delta G is equal to minus NF into E cell. So here, what is the N value for a Daniell cell? N is equal to 2. So I can say delta G is equal to minus 2 into F into E cell, cell potential of a Daniell cell. What type of reaction? If you write Zn, 1 mole of Zn plus 1 mole of copper gives rise to 1 mole of Zn2 plus 1 mole of copper. Well, if I double the number of moles involved, say if 2 mole of Zn plus 2 mole of copper 2 plus 2 mole of Zn plus 2 mole of copper 2 plus gives rise to 2 mole of Zn2 plus 2 mole of copper. Now it is the simplest form. Here in this equation, what have I done? We simply double the number of moles of all reactants and all product. So both are balanced equations only. But here, when you look at the N value, is different. If I consider 1 mole of each, number of electrons involved will be just 2. But if I consider 2 moles of all species involved, now what happens? N becomes equal to 4. So accordingly, what is the relation? Delta G is equal to minus, earlier we said 2. Now what is the expression? Minus 4 into F into E cell. Means here, based on balanced equation, we have to find out the number of electrons transferred, and by knowing the N value, we have to write the equation. Well, is it clear? Then coming to the general aspect regarding delta G naught, standard free energy change, equilibrium constant Kc, and standard electrode potential, that is E naught cell. So based on combination of these, how nature of reaction differs. Say, if I want to say a reaction to be spontaneous, if a reaction to be spontaneous, then what is delta G naught? Standard free energy will be always less than 0. Means it will be always less than 0 in the sense is always negative. So for any reaction, that reaction to be spontaneous, necessary condition is delta G must be negative. So we say it must be less than 0. Then regarding equilibrium constant of such spontaneous reactions will be always greater than 1. Okay, so it will be greater than 1. And regarding cell potential, or I can say standard cell potential, it will be always greater than 0. It means it is always positive. So nature of the reaction, if the reaction to be spontaneous, delta G naught must be negative, Kc must be greater than 1, and E naught cell must be positive, greater than 0. Now when we say reaction is at equilibrium, means when their delta Z naught is equal to 0 and equilibrium constant will be equal to 1 and its cell potential is 0. At this condition, what we say, that reaction is at equilibrium. Then when we say reaction is a non-spontaneous, means when delta G naught is greater than 0, means for a reaction, if it is a delta Z naught is greater than 0, then we have to say that reaction is non-spontaneous. Regarding Kc, if I consider, if Kc is less than 1, then that reaction becomes non-spontaneous. When I consider E naught cell, if the E naught cell is less than 0, if it is negative, again we have to say that reaction is a non-spontaneous. So generally this table is very important to be remembered. Okay. So based on values of delta Z naught as well as Kc and even E naught cell, we can specify nature of a reaction as spontaneous, reaction is at equilibrium, and the reaction is non-spontaneous. Well, I hope you understood this concept. Again, in the next session, we discuss about some other concept of electrochemistry. Well, thank you.